Why do we always go to, and this is what we know, so this is why it happens. We're taught to put monies all the time into entities that we don't control and we have no access, which proves it's not even our money. So we're saving into these vehicles that have all these regulations and restrictions. Okay, you can save this and we're going to give you some kind of rate of return depending on how your money is allocated and how those perform. But by the way, you can't touch them until you're 59 and a half, because not only are you deferring that tax, so now we're going to, if you do, you're going to be taxed because you have to be taxed because you've deferred the money, but we're also going to penalize you. So what's the proof? That is absolute proof it's not your money. If it was, you wouldn't have those restrictions.
Well,
I should have access to my money whenever I want to use it. But unfortunately, most of the products are made. We've talked about this before with the letters IRC in front of them, Internal Revenue Code. That's who's predicating and dictating everything that's going on most of these products. I don't care if it's a stock. I don't care if it's a bond. I don't care what it is. If there's tax implications to it, the IRS and the Internal Revenue Code have a say in it. So we have to work, not saying we avoid all these things, but we are so wrapped up as a society into these products that we have no luxury of doing what others do. Do we ever get passive income? And people, I've heard things recently where passive income is a fallacy. I don't understand how someone says something like that. If you're making money off something else, that's passive income. You're not doing anything to make the money, basically. If you have the luxury of doing things and keeping money in motion and letting something else pay you a return on that investment, so to speak, how is that not passive income? Unfortunately, the wealthy understand this better than anyone, and they utilize other people's money to leverage and generate more wealth for themselves. We don't. We continue to say, how much money do I have as discretionary income that I can put into something else to hope that I can save more money? That's how most of us function, because we're on a budget. We're trying to make ends meet. We're trying to raise families. We're trying to work. A lot of dual income households these days. That's how it works. We're not taught to try to say, hey, we have something that's working on our behalf that we can leverage to generate even another asset, versus having to come up with more contribution into something else to try to generate another bucket of assets. Why can't we leverage one to generate another? We're not taught that. That's how you generate wealth, is making one asset become two and become three, and not always have to have an output of cash in order to do that. Because most of us we classify retirees on a fixed income, but that's pretty much what most people are. I don't care if you're retired or working. Most people are on a fixed type of income, which in essence is a declining income because taxes go up, inflation has an impact. These are all factors that roll into every person's daily lives, and we're trying to get ahead somehow, some way that we can get out of this rat race of having to work 35 years of our lives and hope that we have the same longevity of retirement that we did in our working lives. The goal is not to retire and then fall over dead at 65 years old. Unfortunately, that happens. So why are we not enjoying what's happening while we're working, simultaneously trying to build for what we can enjoy when we go to retire? We're so struck on trying to make ends meet and that's everyone's stress level in our world. We have to make dollars work on our behalf and make things better for us. Turn the tables and focus in on ourselves. This is a selfish statement. We need to focus on ourselves to generate what's best for us as a family or an individual, instead of it benefiting someone else all the time. We've got to turn those tables, and this is one of the ways this can be done.
Well, and people talk, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You hear people speak about all the time, making statements about having your money work for you. And this is the ultimate make your money work for you plan.